Hi all, my name is Jenn Bokoch Gillett and I am super interested in joining the New George Jam. I'm just very excited for this opportunity to begin with. I've been a fan of your work and the people that work with you for a long time. I also used to work with a theater company in LA called Theater of Note, and we were lucky enough to produce some plays that were developed in the New George Jam. So just as a little background, been following you for a while and have always enjoyed it. At this particular moment in my life and artistic career, I am sort of newly exploring this identity of playwright. I was an actor and a voiceover artist and a puppeteer and many things in Los Angeles and New York over the last, many years of my life. And recently have been creating interview-based theater. I've now created 4 plays, one about our education system and challenges within. I also was a teaching artist for many years. One called Tocophobia, about the birth process and disparities in our healthcare system. Also kind of tied into my work as a doula and now as a mama. And one in the pandemic with the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles about the women's movement, which was tied to an exhibition that they had there for the 100-year anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. And most recently, a play about a group of radical nuns in Western Pennsylvania. True story. These were nuns that were arrested for protesting nuclear war and all kinds of things that one would like to protest. Now they're aging, and was able to capture their stories, which was fantastic. The point is, all of this work needs to be done in a collaborative setting. I need other artists to hold me accountable. I need other voices to let me know what voices want to be amplified. And there's nothing that I love more than working in tandem with another group of artists and artistic people. So that is why it would be a thrill and an honor to be a part of the Jam. Okay, so I mentioned that most of the work that I'm doing now is interview-based theater. There's a lot of proud moments within that. Of course, as an artist person, whenever I do a project, it's also for me exploring my own experiences. Tocophobia, the play about the birth process, I was very proud of because it amplified stories that are not always heard or at least listened to. I realized I knew very little about my own birth. In my work as a doula, I thought I would be doing more practical things. I thought I would go to postpartum appointments, hold the baby while people napped, make some food, clean, things like that. All people wanted to do was tell their birth story. And when I thought about it, I thought, I really only know, from my mother, it was 6 o'clock in the evening. I was in labor for 8 hours. You were born at St. Edward's Hospital in Dallas, and that was that. And in hearing and witnessing birth stories, I realized there was so much more to it. So I was very proud of Tocophobia because it allowed people to share their deeper birth stories and deeper complications that come with how race and class and location and all of those things intersect. I was also really proud we were able to use shadow puppets to further express some of those stories. And I think a lot of this work that I'm doing now, interview-based theater, it needs to be activated. It needs to be weird. It needs to be something that's not just somebody sitting in a chair talking. So that is something that I am proud of, that I've been able to bring the weird and bring the creative into a form that is not always that. Okay, so in terms of collaboration, I thought about this for a while. I think what nourishes me as a collaborator is working with people that have completely different skill sets than I do. As I said, I'm a puppeteer, I'm a performer, I have been a theater producer, things like that. I need people who are directors. I need people who are projectionists, musicians, who specialize in sound and lighting design. I mean, of course, all of those things are collaborations that may naturally occur in the theater, but I feel like I know that working with collaborators with different skill sets, what has strengthened my practice as a performer, playwright, puppeteer, all of the things. I have a few collaborators that I've worked with regularly now, some musicians that have helped to strengthen stories and work in a way that has been invaluable, a director I work with on the regular, and other playwrights that have challenged me and my voice. So one of my favorite things as an actor and former teaching artist is to encourage other artists to play. As a teaching artist for many years, for more than 15 years, I worked in schools, summer camps, other, kiddo settings that often, that involved play. And I've also brought that into colleges or groups of adult teachers, of classroom educators, and of other artists too. And something that I've cultivated and that I would love to share is a group of games and exercises that I think help to encourage creativity. And I think we sometimes as adults have to be given permission to play. And I love being able to give that permission because it can be really fun to play. And it can also be really illuminating to one's creativity. So that's something I would love and be honored to lead. Also, on a practical note, I am a certified yoga instructor. So if people ever just want to stretch it out and warm up, I love that too. Okay, so when it comes to incorporating values into my work, that's kind of all I ever want to do. I mentioned some of my previous work, incorporating my values as a doula, incorporating my values as a mother, single parent, woman. All of these things have made their way into my work. Some of my future work, I think really it involves amplifying unheard voices. All of my work really is about that, literally by using people's words who wish to have their voices amplified for interview-based theater. But a future project that I am working on, I myself am a lymphoma survivor. I've only been in remission for about a year. But along the way, I recorded stories of my experiences, which I listen back now, and part of it I have already blocked. But I've also become a part of a very small, unheard group of people that are people who have or are single parenting with cancer, which is bonkers. Even within the hospital system, it was not a group that was recognized. There were so many very specific support groups. There was nothing for people who were parenting with cancer. I think I found one standalone group in my entire year-plus experience with the disease. So really important to me that I put my work and my ideas and my values all in the same place. And so, sharing an idea for a new project about people single parenting with cancer is my way of trying to say that all of my values go right into my work. And I really want to be able to use my work as a platform for discussion and a way to not just create conversation and amplify voices, but to then provide a path for people to go into the world with an action. And almost all the shows I've ever done involve a talk back at the end where doulas, medical professionals, whoever's affiliated with the issues we are discussing leads a talk back and then says, hey folks, this is what you can do to be a part of the reproductive justice movement, or whatever the case may be. But bottom line, thank you for this opportunity, and I'm just happy to be able to submit.